Okay, so these young men have agreed to just answer some quick questions. Do you think that an employer, like if you were a boss of a business, do you think you would hire someone who insists on wearing a Jesus hat like this while they're on the job dealing with customers?
No, I couldn't. You know why? Because like it's just distracting to everyone at work, and people would think he's not serious. You know, it's just like it wouldn't suit. It's just unprofessional.
In a way, it's just seems like it doesn't seem like proper work attire. Seems
Like, I
unprofessional.
guess if you're working at a church, yeah, but for a regular job, nah.
And sir, you were saying the same thing?
It's unprofessional, yeah.
Okay. Would it surprise you to learn that under the Canadian Charts of Rights and Freedoms, an employer has no right to turn away an employee to not hire someone based on their religious wear? They're allowed to wear whatever they want as far as religious wear. I'm not saying I agree with the law. I think it's crazy.
What is that religious way though?
And that's another part of the law is that just one person can make up their own religion, right? So you can do whatever you want, which is crazy because a person could say, well, my religion is focused on the KKK and I want to wear my hood while I'm at work. And all this was written into the laws back whenever they did the Charter of Rights and Freedoms back in '85 or whatever. It's like people don't think. Another point I'd like to make is that forget all that stuff about the KKK. What if an employee was a Satanist or a Luciferian and they wanted to wear their demon hat or whatever that, or a demon shirt or whatever? There really should be accommodations for employers who have to run a business. See, most of these laws are made by politicians, bureaucrats, who really have never run a business. They don't know what it's like to have to keep customers. And so they just make up these stupid laws that the business owners have to abide by. So that's about it. I just want to sort of get people's opinion of it. I know it's a silly hat, but I'm trying to make a point. Yeah, okay. So I appreciate your time, fellas. Have a good day, eh? All right, so here we are at, this is Mississauga City Hall. I've been here a bunch of times. It's public space, so I like it. Nice day. So as you can see, I guess I'm wearing my Jesus hat today, and I'm getting more opinions about it. I did some research online, and I discovered that in Canada, and this applies to the States too, apparently, in Canada, employers do not have the right to not hire somebody based on their religious wear. They are forced under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms to accommodate employees who want to wear, I guess, whatever religious headwear or other wear that they want to. The only stipulation being that if the business is faith-based, so I guess if you're a church or a synagogue or what do they call the Muslim things? Anyway, so if you're a church or something, a religious-based business, then you can hire just your religion types. That's allowed. But anybody else, you have to allow them to wear their religious wear on the job, no matter what religion they are. The fact is, a business owner, if they want to have their business be neutral, not religious-based at all, but be a neutral place where customers can go to shop for their groceries, for example, without having to be subjected to all the latest politics or religious issues in the world, they should be allowed to make their space for customers. They should be able to make their space neutral or whatever they want. I mean, if I wanted to shop in an ethnic store, I could shop in an ethnic store. If I want to shop in a neutral store, say even an atheist store, then I should be allowed to. If you were a boss, or maybe you are a boss, would you hire someone who insists on wearing a Jesus hat like this? I mean, is that a fact? Would that be a factor?
No.
Are you aware that the law says that you have to?
Have to what?
Under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, you cannot refuse employment to someone based on their religious beliefs or their religious wear on the job. That's the law.
No, I'm not against you wearing the hat. That's what I meant.
Yeah, you get that? See, people don't like it. They think the Jesus hat is silly and crazy, but under Canadian law, you, as an employer, they would not be allowed to turn you away based on the hat. Okay? And that is insane, because I recognize that this is not something that business owners should have to put up with on the job. If they want to make a neutral space for their customers, then they should be allowed to do that, hire based on that. Bureaucrats made these laws, and they should be looked at again, in my opinion. Just a Christian hat in this case.
Actually, doesn't matter to me. Yes.
So, but as a business owner, you got to think about your customers. So you don't worry about that.
As long as if there's like a strong conflict in like interest, then maybe. For example, if there's like an opposing, like, let's say another religious group already in my company, I wouldn't hire someone who essentially like creates conflict for that group. You know.
Would it surprise you to learn that under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, a business owner has no right to refuse employment to someone based on their religious wear?
Yes, but I have to like. What I'm saying is that I wanted to create like a great atmosphere for that, because I have to think about efficiency and everything. It's hard to like finding a balance at this, but it's kind of like the society that we live in right now. Well, what would you do then?
Well, I'm out here talking about it to people because I recently discovered that the law is on the books. I was just under the assumption that if you ran a business, you could hire the people that you want to run the business. It's like if you're running a Hindu sweet store, you should be allowed to hire other Hindus, not be forced to hire Christians wearing hats like this. If you were a boss, or maybe you are a boss, would you hire someone who insisted on wearing a Jesus hat like that?
Insisted? Depends on the company setup, and yeah, I will consider it. Sure, it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, because it is the law. You can't turn somebody down for the religious. Okay, you were aware it was the law?
Yes, probably.
So if somebody wants to wear a KKK because that's a KKK hood, because that's their religion, you're not allowed by law to turn them down. Or if they're a Satanist or a Luciferian.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, it's case by case. We'll see. Whatever the law says, investigate it, and then go from there.
Things it's not case by case. It's a blanket thing that says you're not allowed to turn somebody down for their religious wear.
Yeah, if I see it on paper, if it's a legal document that I see in front of me, yes, I will abide by it.
Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Yeah. I don't want to keep you, sir. Thanks for your time. Okay. Would you hire somebody who wore a loud religious hat like that?
It depends on the management.
If you were the boss?
If I was the boss, I don't know. Maybe it brings ill feeling to other people, the employees.
Exactly. And I'm just informing people that the Charter of Rights and Freedoms says, the law says that you have to. As a boss, you have to hire somebody, no matter what their religious affiliation is. If they're wearing, well, what if their religious affiliation? What if their religion is Satanism?
Oh gosh, that's.
They didn't allow for that in the law.
Yeah, they didn't do that.
Right. People could have their religion could be their KKK members. I don't agree with that at all. But if that's.
I think schools and even workplace, they shouldn't display religious beliefs. If you wear a cross, a chain on a chain, but just show it.
That's not a big deal. Who's wearing a hat like that? I made that hat. It's my Jesus hat.
Yes.
You would hire them?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know that it's the law that you have to hire somebody no matter what their religious wear is? Just headwear.
I didn't know that.
Would you hire somebody who wears a Jesus hat?
If that person did their job, yes.
Okay. Even if they deal with the public, customers and things like that?
Yeah. I mean, the point is that the person should be efficient, and if it does cause some kind of distraction, but it affects somebody at a personal level, they need it to do their job, why not?
Okay. I mean, if customers wanted a neutral space, like non-religious space,
I would expect that the same kind of respect I give that person, to practice their religion. They show the same kind of respect to others by not forcing their opinions on someone else.
The customer, you mean? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Are you aware that, maybe you are, it's law in Canada that you have to allow for whatever religious garb the person wants to wear. My problem with that is that you could have Luciferians and Satanists say, well, I want to wear my pentagram hat while I'm working with customers. And the boss, the owner of the business, they would have to hire the person anyway.
Yeah, it is probably, it goes from person to person, but if I think whatever one is practicing is not really affecting anybody else's sentiments, it needs to be taken into consideration.
Jesus hat like that on the job.
Probably not.
Were you aware that under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms that you would have to?
Really? I was not aware of that.
It's crazy to me, just crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to me too. This is supposed to be a free country, right? Yeah. So in a free country, theoretically, you should be able to not hire somebody in a Jesus hat or not hire somebody in a hijab or whatever. It's your choice, right? You have
to have that right. The free market says you have to have that right because business rules, right? It really does. In the free market Western society, business is what it comes down to. And if my business is swamped by people wearing whatever on their head, I have the right to tailor my business to my customers. You know, it's just the way it should be.